Welcome to City Year Memphis Career Day at Comcast, featuring a day of innovation, conversations, presentations, inspiration, education, and appreciation. Brought to you by Comcast Memphis leaders and Team Up ambassadors. Let the training begin. It's innovation and set the foundation time with Senior Manager of External Affairs, Evangeline Parker-Guest.
I'm going to ask you to open your mind. I'm going to ask you to open your heart. I'm going to ask you to open your spirit for all of the wonderful, important information you're going to receive from our Comcast leaders today. Everything from resume development to effective interviewing skills, to how to be your best at whatever you decide to do as a career. You're going to learn all of that, plus we're going to have a few surprises in store for you, because for those of you all who have been with me before, you know Miss Evangeline love balloons and I love surprises, don't ya?
What happens when core members are asked to create a positive message with limited balloon resources? Core members quickly jump into action to create balloon innovations. Team number 1 created several plus signs to remind us to always stay positive. Team number 2 created a smiling face. Can you see it? The hair, nose, eyes, and a smile. Evangeline Parker-Guest joined in the fun, creating Why You. If you know the why, you can make your dreams come true, just like the founder of Comcast did.
We've got mobile phones. We've got all of that. And it all came from a dream. So I say to you young people, first, tap into your dream. Ralph Roberts was a man who walked around in suits and bow ties. He was shocked every time he saw him, because that's who he was. You can look at him and see his why. He dressed because he was headed somewhere, to a multi-billion-dollar company, to employ thousands upon thousands of people, to do great work, not just with products, but also service in the community. He said his core values included integrity. Do what you say you're gonna do. Do it right the first time. Be who you say you are. Don't come in pretending. Be you, your authentic self. Your word should be your bond. Family. Make sure you're supporting your family. And family sometimes is not the bloodline, but it's those who help you with your lifeline. So if you need support and you can't turn to the bloodline family, turn to your right, turn to your left, because I know City Year. City Year is like family. And then he talked about hard work. If you want your dreams to come true, you all said have these career goals. It's going to take some work. I could lie to you, day is going to be easy. It's not. It's going to take some hard work. And finally, he said dedication. Because there will be times when you want to give up. When you want to say, ooh, that's crazy. I can't do that. That don't make sense. How is going to help me get to my goal? Because it's all about the why, and it's all about you. At the end of the day, when it comes to whatever it is you want to do, if you have your values intact, the foundation, you know who you are and whose you are, you're going to be okay. If you know where you're headed, you can develop a plan to get there. The leaders today are about to share with you a variety of things to help you get there. Thank you all so much for your time and attention. And I hope you guys
We were very deliberate and intentional about what we want you guys to take with you. And so what we're hoping with the agenda is we have resume writing and interview tips and tricks. We want to help you stand out to the employers. we have a leadership panel discussion. And what we're hoping here is that the leaders will share their most personal insights and advice. So you have insight on a variety of topics. So interviewing skills. When it comes to interviewing, remember, it's not just about showcasing your skills and your experiences. It's something that Evangeline spoke about. It's about telling your story. It's about being authentic. It's about showing your passion towards your purpose for the industry or the role that you're interested in. And then for resume writing, your resume is often the first impression. So make it count. We're going to talk about tailoring it. We're going to talk about highlighting your achievements in the right ways. And we're going to talk about using the right language from the job description of what the role is you're interested in. Because you do have to customize it. All right? And because we're at Comcast and technology and innovation is important. AI, yeah, exactly. I also would say blockchain. Or what else were you going to say? What's just coding, cybersecurity, all of those things. So definitely make sure that that's a part of your skill set. Don't be afraid to take risks. So apply for the jobs that stretch you. You never know what's possible until you try.
My fear of failure won't keep me from realizing what I'm truly capable of.
Awesome. I love that. And listen, we all have fears. We all have anxiety about things we haven't done until we do them, right? So, Rayneisha?
My fear of failure won't keep me from finding opportunities.
Awesome. Specific opportunity in mind, because when you have a plan, you have to be clear. You got to make it plain. What's your plan?
I want to be an educator, but I don't know if the role that I want to partake in is even creative.
Oh, okay. So who else wants to share? Yes.
It's knowledge check time. Let's continue this resume interviewing discussion with Kahoot.
Don't ask questions during the interview. You don't want to seem too pushy.
Ooh.
True or false? All 32 got this one correct. Research the company before you go for an interview. This includes reading news items in history. True or false? Taylor, hey! Thank you note to the hiring manager. Following the interview is always appropriate. True or false? Uh-oh. Some uncertainty there. We got one more. Uh-oh, we got a split. Let's see who's in the lead. Taylor. Last question. At the end of the interview, you are asked, do you have any questions? What do you say? What would my salary be? Can you tell me more about the training that is provided to new members? I don't have any. What is your sickness policy?
Yeah.
In third place, Taylor. In second place, Bobby. And in third, we got Greg. Y'all show us.
I guess everybody know, don't be afraid to take a risk when you think about it. A lot of times, we may not take certain opportunities or apply to certain jobs because we don't really truly believe what we're actually capable of. So that just is a message to me to take a chance on myself.
That is so good.
City Year, are y'all ready? All right. There we go. All right, so to start out with the panel, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to ask everyone if y'all would please give me your introduction, your elevator speech that y'all would give, basically introducing yourself, name and title, how long you've been here. technical side, network maintenance side, and now I'm actually manager for the network maintenance team. So I run Memphis and Tupelo and other markets occasionally. And so I manage 5 supervisors right now and 69 technicians. One thing that's real good and great about Comcast and why I love this company, our company, the culture. The culture that it embodies, that it cares about you. Growing up in Memphis, you know, all I knew was what my family told me. And when I came to Comcast, a lot of opportunities were shown to me. It was up to me to go get it, and I went and got a few of them. And we talked about opportunities all the time. I want a chance, I want this, I want that. They called me out on it because those opportunities were there. I had to put my name in the hat, and I really had to create that competitive edge to win those opportunities to move on up. So I love it.
I got about 8 years of Comcast here. I'm a technical operations supervisor. I serve 12 technicians. Really, I serve any technician in the Memphis market if they need something to make it happen.
And you know, we always got our doors open in a lot of areas that people don't realize that we have. It's not just, oh, we come out and fix your internet. We really have an expansive workforce that there's not much we don't have availability for. But looking forward to talking to y'all later. Looking forward to answer y'all's questions. I'm gonna pass it off to my friend Jodi.
I've been with Comcast total for a little over 7 years. I started in Comcast business. I was in sales for a very long time. And I actually left the company and I came back. And for anybody that thinks you may or you may not be qualified for a job, as everybody's been saying, go for it. I was probably the least qualified in the interview process for this job. However, I'm a people person. And that got me the job. There was no, I can't do that. It was, I'll learn. These teams are invaluable, even though we're different departments, we work together. Fantastic company, fantastic benefits, great culture. I mean, we are family.
What you look for in a candidate's resume when hiring for a role at Comcast?
In retail, we, hire weekly, basically. But the biggest thing that I look at is the job history and the layout of the resume, right? So, say for instance, if you're coming into a sales job, you don't have to have sales experience, but you may need customer service and things like that, right? So when we also look at the time frame that you've been in each role. So say for instance, every 1 to 6 months, every job is 6 months, we're looking like, okay, why do you hop around, jobs so much?
Crisco. So I've been with the company, I think 13 years this summer, and I'm actually on the advertising side. So I work for Comcast Advertising. So what I do is sell basically commercial space. So local advertisers want to advertise in March Madness, want to run commercials in college football, anything like that. So again, on the sales side, it's a little different. I appreciate all these people making sure our shows run and everything airs right, because that's how we get paid, being commission-based, what we sell. But yeah, love the company. I'd say the biggest thing is just to be adaptable to change, because in my 13 years, I think I've had 8 positions and titles, just because they're different, changes throughout. So yeah, just keep a good attitude.
So I'm in Comcast business, so we are the team that goes out into the field and help small businesses with their internet and then grow their businesses, right? We're connecting businesses to their customers, to the technology. So my team has to go out in the field all day, every day. We go into the business and we talk. So during the interview process, you gotta be able to have that outgoing attitude. When you answer questions, I want you to answer the question and I want you to tell me how it impacted the results for it. So don't just answer it. Tell me what the impact was.
What are some of the common pitfalls that you see with candidates in interviews?
I've been involved with a lot of the hiring process here in Memphis for the technician side, and that first impression is where it is. Are you dressed for success? Are you paying attention? Are you looking for the opportunity? Are you engaged? In those first 5 to 10 seconds, we can already tell. Usually, we're going to be on there a few minutes early. One great thing that always puts you a step ahead. Are you on there right on time, or are you there a couple minutes early?
There's a question on there around, why did you leave your last company or whatnot? Keep it positive. Don't put anything negative out there. Because as a leader, hearing someone talk negative about a leader they had before, how do I know that person not going to do that to me too as well? So remember that.
on the job, right? So it may be for a warehouse, it may be, you know, in food services, it may be in sales, wherever. Dress the part, right? You want to show less skin. So for us women who may wear short skirts, make sure that it's long enough, right? So we kind of like call it the church rule or the hand rule. Like if you put your hand down to your side and you can feel your thigh or leg is too short. Also make sure that not everybody has to have a suit on, right? For me personally, I always, you know, will wear a suit, and the color matters as well, right? You want to do gray, black, you know, brown, tan, like the neutral colors. And then one pet peeve of mine is when it's extra wrinkled, right? Make sure, like I'm like the first, I'm just saying it happens.
People are always watching. The smallest things you do in a day might lead to a promotion in a year. You know, just own your brand and, you know, always show up.
I'll give you one. Always ask for feedback. All right, after your interview, always ask for feedback. All right, so who has a question?
Hi, my name is Christina.
Hey, Christina.
Okay, so my question is, how do y'all develop patience for growing your company? That's something that I struggle with. If I am not seeing the growth in the company, I need.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust the vision that you see in your company. All right? I've been here 25 years. I've seen a lot of changes to get me to you, but I trusted the process.
Sometimes you're there that you can give back to someone else.
Come on now, come on.
A lot of it is
Like
about
this.
serving other people as well. So I think that the people that go up, they realize that it's not all about them. It's about how you contribute to the community, the person right beside you, you know.
Y'all in leadership, what is the biggest barrier you have faced? Has it been internal or external? How do you overcome
It was internal, but it was not to the company. It was how I was going and facing things. For me to get this leadership role, I actually applied coast to coast. Like, you know, I was single, so I was able to move. But I learned through doing all these interviews, I think it was like 20 interviews for me to get this position. I started like going after 4 or 5 no's, like you said, it's like you start getting down, but then you have to look at yourself saying, all right, how can I adjust? What am I going wrong? And I, at the time, wasn't asking for feedback.
Any other questions?
I'm a Willie.
My question is about more like appearance. Like, would you reject someone that has like a lot of piercings, tattoos, or like long hair like that?
All right, I'm gonna take this if you don't mind. All right, I was doing interviews before, and I actually had someone that I put in the no list because they actually had those looped earrings, tattoos on their face, and things like that. And I actually got sat down in front of HR at that point, and they told me, why, Shawn? I said, because of that. And they were like, do you think we have customers that look like that? And I was like, wow, you're actually right. So I brought that person back in for an interview. So,
We're very diverse.
we are very diverse.
My question is for Mr. Andre. From what I heard, you've been with the company for 25 years. So within that 25 years, have you ever experienced burnout, and how did you overcome it?
Ooh, yes.
Another good question. I experience burnout all the time. But
Tell him why.
I just said, I helped him. He came back to the company for a second stint under my tutelage. I met new peers, made new friendships. It takes a lot. You have to really focus in on what you want to do. I've been frustrated, but I don't show them. I don't show them. I go in my office, and if you hadn't noticed, my lights are dim in my office. When I'm in my space, that's when I hash out. But then when I come out, what I need to do to get better.
I do want to say one thing that Meghan brought up. Having a mentor is very good. I have a mentor, somebody above me that I can reach out to, talk to whenever I need to. So yes, having a mentor is very good.
You said something about insight color, and I want to know more about that. Where you find that?
So it's called insights, and essentially it's like 4 or 5 colors. You got red, which is this guy. They're usually real aggressive. They lead from the front, kind of just going after it. Then you got blue. The blue insight colors are people who are real data oriented. Who's good with Excel sheets? Yeah, but if you're good with Excel sheets, you're probably going to lean more blue. Then you have green, which is
Caring,
environment. Right, and then you have me, which is yellow. Woo! Like, you wake up on 110. You're just always excited. But I wanted to talk about it because it's so important. It was important for me in my leadership journey to learn that about myself. Because part of being a yellow is your highs are really high and your lows are really low. And that is so important because early in my leadership journey, I would get feedback. Feedback is a blessing.
Do not sell yourself short. If you feel you have what it takes to get in that role, you apply. Because the best feedback you're going to get is going to just make you that much more determined to get that role. So you keep applying because you never know what God has planned for you.
Never get the mentor in a position that you're in. Get somebody outside of your job title or position. They're going to tell you what you want to do. So for me, my mentor was 2 levels up. Was the VP of the company, Mark Terrell. He's been my mentor. So yeah, I mentored him, but I'm not his mentor because we report and work together. So you want to get you someone who's not in the same area or ballpark in the company too. That also helps. So they're going to give you both sides of it.
For one person, the advice that I will take with me for optimal success is,
I'm gonna take something from Josh. He was saying something about his biggest issue in his job was how he adjusted, with his attitude. He had to figure out where he was and how he would fit into the company. Adjustment, adaptability, being agile. Very good, Josh. Thank you. The advice that I would take with me for optimal success is show up as your best self.
me up now to talk to y'all about some transferable skills. Mr. JG with us here tonight.
Transferable skills. So this is kind of what we glanced on a few times already today. It's what you take with you to your next skills, to your next job. Even things that you're doing today, meeting here, being team leads at projects in school, being, innovators in just your life. Stuff you're doing today to drive that is what we look for when we're interviewing.
Every skill I've learned, and I also teach. You gotta be willing to teach and learn.
All right, man.
So you said there, being coachable. We've said that a lot here. I mentioned that at least a few times today, being coachable. One of the skill sets, like you said, is how do you take feedback, both good and bad? Because bad feedback doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative thing. It's an opportunity to learn.
I got told I can do my job for the whole time. And you can't get on that phone until I show them I can get on that phone. It's better than some of you.
All right.
So I say, be open to learn. And also, don't treat everybody like you want to be treated. Even if they come out nasty to you. You step down on the inside, and it's like, okay, take it easy.
All right, Ray.
Thank you, JG and Rayneisha. Alright. And next we're going to bring up, we got one last speaker for you. Next person we're going to bring up is John Meyers.
Mike T! Mike T!
Yeah, it's Mike T. Not the one on the radio, but the one you want to know. So I want to talk to you all about your competitive edge. Every morning you wake up with God-given talent. You have a lot of potential in you. So when I say you have God-given talent, what comes to your mind initially when I say it? What is your talent? Can I get one or two people to tell me? Communication, you're good at talking. Anybody else?
Right away.
Problem solving. Problem solving. Okay. So, the reason why I asked you about this, right? A lot of people are good at talking. A lot of people are good at problem solving. So what is your competitive edge? What is your competitive edge? How are you going to edge out the same people that's in the same field for the same goal that you have? You are unique. You're special. You bring something to the table. You have to cultivate your talent and then develop your competitive edge. And this is a question for everybody in here. Just raise your hand. At age 18, did you have it all together? Just raise your hand. It's called PIE. Performance, image, exposure. I want to take those notes. Performance, image, exposure. I'm going to use the same example that I just gave you. When it comes to performance, you're going to do your job. You're going to perform well. You're going to execute. That ain't number 10% of the pie. Now your image. When people look at you, do they look at you and say, hey, this is who can take it to the next level? What do people think about when they look at you? You got attitude all the time? Are you argumentative? Are you that person that lifts up the room and shifts the energy? Are you that person that delivers? That's 30% of the package. Now, when you put those two together, you're a good worker, you got a great image. Now exposure comes into play. Who you been bumping elbows with? Who you been connecting with? What platforms have you been out a part of? And then just sharing your brand. Because you never know who might look at you in this interview that you're always in and say, I want this one. I know this person here works hard. They got to look. We sit here and talk all day about being, you know what I'm saying, ask about peers. Focus on developing skills that set you apart. Embrace lifelong learning, whether it's through formal education, online courses, or hands-on experience. I'm in school right now. Comcast afforded me the opportunity to go to school and it's being paid for. I'm taking advantage of it. I'm developing myself. The hands-on experience, I've been with the company 10 years and each year I add something new to my arsenal. It's something for you to learn every year, January to December. Now, if you're not paying attention, we're gonna stop there today. Every day that you get up, pay attention. How can I be better than I was yesterday? It sounds cliche, but how do I be better than yesterday? You know what, this time, I ain't gonna act a fool. I'm just gonna sit this one out. That's a step. You know what? I ain't gonna let myself get out of character. Let me think about it. I was wrong. That's a step. How are you gonna be better than you were yesterday? Network with people in fields that interest you. If you want to go to school to be a nurse, why are you hanging out with a bartender? Birds of a feather flock what?
Together.
Okay then, so you get around what you're trying to be like. Cultivate a growth mindset. You're not always right. I was 18 before. And Lord, you had to look out.
My competitive edge is to be able to learn fast and talk to everybody.
Oh, nice. That's tough. It's conversations do get hard.
I'm just going to say my competitive edge is asking a lot of questions.
Curious, I love it.
Asking a lot of questions help paint the picture. I love it.
Oh, no gray areas.
My competitive advantage is taking failure and gaining experience.
All
There you
right. Yes.
Why? Present, curious, and engaged. So I'm gonna give this one to the person that I think was most curious. That's Taylor. All right. Oh, this is so good. Okay. Darren All his engagement, we learned something from him.
Good job.
Okay, this is going to go to Diego. You dropped the mic again.
Told that the guys are receiving some new technology and we need to get it counted. So you're in engineering, Shawn. Any idea of what it could possibly be?
I'm not sure. Maybe it says modem, so maybe we got some new gateways that we're about to put out.
Joshua, have you seen them? You know anything about the new modems?
I was left out of this one. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's open them up and let's see what we got.
Uh-oh.
That don't look like modems.
Uh-oh.
That don't look like modems. Looks like laptops. 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 For everybody. Y'all get a laptop. Y'all get a laptop. Y'all get a
That's right, Dell laptops for City Year Memphis core members. Compliments of Comcast Corporate Community Investment Team.
We appreciate y'all. We really hope that these laptops will help you the next level, whatever that is for you. We wish you all nothing but the very, very best. And you have Dimyka's contact information. I'm sure all of the leaders have given you contact information. If you need something,
read your packets.
Yes.
Information.
Please read your packets, because she worked very hard up until the wee hours of the night putting it together for you. But we're just excited, and we love supporting City Year and celebrating City Year. And I know that there are some difficult days ahead, but you all are strong enough to weather the storm. And City Year is what we make it. And it's getting in the trenches, doing the work that needs to be done to help those that are in need. So wherever you go, don't forget about City Year. Remember to always keep City Year in your prayers and to support City Year. And don't forget about Comcast, because we really care about you and we wish the very, very best for you. All right, let's take this picture.
This is Evangeline Parker-Guest reporting for Comcast External Affairs. Until next time, stay positive and keep moving forward.